We are in Oakville, just a few blocks from the lake. It's really special. And it's an end unit townhouse that some previous homeowner did a wonderful deed and they added an extension onto it. So we've got a little bit extra space than most of the townhouses here. My clients are a couple whose kids have long moved out. So this home was a downsize from their previous home. They had intention more to do like an easy fix up on the main floor, keeping it simple, mostly finishes. And then upstairs was really where they wanted to invest in actually renovating the space to make it into something that was more appropriate for their lifestyle. Okay, the main entrance is like my favorite area, I think. It's the biggest surprise because it was just a covered porch. There was just glass and it was really just a transition. The clients wanted to make it more functional. They wanted to weatherproof it. This allowed us to give this room more purpose. My new favorite color for built-ins was used, and then this burgundy color. It gives a little bit of a contrast, but it's not jarring. And then we use the color of the built-ins on the ceiling, but just at a lighter formula. So you can say I just want it 75%, and that way there's not like a third color in there. The kitchen and dining area were great to start with. So we didn't have to do a lot in there except really just update some of the cosmetic finishes. We updated the cabinet color to like a fresher white. We added different hardware that was more speaking to them. It's a beautiful finished brass that's like a weathered look. It looks like it's been there a long time or that it could be there a long time, and things like that were important to the homeowners. New faucet just to brighten things up. And of course, we changed the floor throughout. Because we painted the cabinets, we were able to take the kick plate off, tuck in the new floor, and then put that back. So really, you don't even have to rip out the kitchen if you want to just change out your floor. The nook in the kitchen was a great opportunity to just add some texture and some fabric into an otherwise hard finished room. So that's a really nice little spot where people could perch, or just visually it's appealing to just have some finish in there. I think lighting is one of the easiest ways that you can update a space and have such a great impact for a quick switch out. And I love this light because it's actually iron, but it's not black. So it really lends to that organic, more natural finish of browns. They had the table and chairs that they were bringing with them in the US. So we just had to add a new buffet that would act as a bar. We had this made and it was perfect. It holds all of their needs. Otherwise it was paint. And in this area, I just thought, what if we just warm up the tones in here? And we went to like a lighter caramel. It's a really warm color, a little different from something very light and bright. It does give a cozy vibe and feeling, and it offsets the darker cabinets really nicely.
This house tour is presented by Tanqueray 10. Tanqueray 10 is an ultra-premium small batch gin crafted by distilling fresh limes, oranges, and grapefruit. This award-winning spirit gives a smooth delivery of delicious botanicals and flavor. Tanqueray, elevating your everyday.
The living room, it's a big change in a simple way. Immediately when I walked in the home, it spoke to me as I need to put in a darker color, something that would just pull your eye in. Now, the client and I both love earthy greens, so that was an easy go-to. We had an existing rug and a light colored sofa that we had to work with and pull out the right tone. But it's really an easy way to just change the whole vibe of it. And when you do a dark room, it's important also to do all the trim in the same color if you want that engulfed feeling, right? So the trim, the baseboards. The ceiling, we just painted a fresh, soft white. But I think the biggest change was stripping the beams that were on the ceiling because they were also painted white. What we uncovered was this beautiful existing wood that's been there for a long time. And what's really special about it is that when you look at it, there's actually like little white in some of the knots, and there's some parts that are chipped out. So it really has like a cozy, casual feeling. The powder room is right off of the entry, and it's a cute room where we wanted to make a classic impact. So a wallpaper that was both interesting but not overly dramatic. A challenge for sure was when we had to replace the sink, and I was able to find a sink that was small enough not to block the door once you walk in, and that curved shape really helps. My client loves live finishes, right? So anything that is going to change and patina over time. So we were able to use an unlacquered brass faucet in there, and that's going to change over time and show some age. The stairs going up, we added the panel molding to create some framing on the wall. And of course, the off-white that would carry throughout the second floor. During construction, we had to move some ductwork, and we had this unsightly duct that had to come up where there was a railing planned. Not an ideal situation, so we ended up discussing the idea of building in some storage. Now they've got a lot of shoe storage, anything they could need in there, and it looks like it's always been there. The master bedroom is probably the biggest architectural transformation in the space. We actually built the ceiling up into the attic space, and we're able to come up with this beautiful A-frame ceiling, and the height is incredible. I added in the wood beams just to create a little bit of interest and warmth so you weren't getting too dizzy in the space. We were able to add 2 new windows in on the side wall, which now allows them to have not just more light, but more airflow. This is where we had closets, and the bed was in between these other windows. When we added the windows, we were able to change around the layout of the space and put the bed on the far wall so that when you walk in, you get that grand moment. It does feel more open, more spacious. And then across from that, we picked up the storage by adding the built-ins. We were converting the upper floor from a 3-bedroom to a 2-bedroom, which meant that we could get some more space for important areas like more closet. So we had this Carrie Bradshaw kind of concept of bedroom, closet, ensuite. And that way we have pocket doors so they can still get privacy if one of them was using 1 or 2 of the areas. I wanted the bathroom to be very special for them. So we chose to do porcelain slabs throughout the whole bathroom. It was important for them also to have double sinks. So we built in a double sink vanity with some storage beside it, and keeping within the finishes of light and airy, and then introducing the wood to ground everything and then cozy it up, I guess, a little bit. The nook. Yes, this room is special. It's multi-purpose. My clients didn't really need a traditional secondary bedroom for guests, and so it became more of like a sitting room. We chose to do a day bed. They do use this very nicely as a sitting room, watch TV, just hang out. I think they all fight over it, including the dog. My client had this wallpaper, and she said, "Do we think we could use this somehow?" Instantly, I knew that it had to go on the ceiling. And then from there, again, I gave her options of wall color, neutral, less neutral, and then this beautiful berry color, which I was so glad when she picked it because I feel like it is somewhat of a neutral. I think it balances the wallpaper nicely, and it just creates a cozy vibe. The bathroom that comes off of the nook is new. We did this a little bold. It was kind of fun to do a darker wall tile and again staying with those natural elements and colors, the browns more. The floor and the wall and the shower, they're really fun again, kind of bold. So I was super excited when my client said yes to these things. And you'll see that there's a mix of brass finishes and then a polished nickel finish. And I really like how natural and just loose and casual it feels when you mix metals like that. I really like coming back in here and just getting the cozy feeling of the main floor. It's really nice just to see the impact of all these simple changes by changing paint colors and light fixtures. There's such a difference that it makes me happy coming back. I love it, and I think she might just have to kick me out today.